Hey everyone, my name's Kevin White. Welcome to Vibrant Vienna. Today we are talking with Mr. Terry Belt. Terry Belt has been in the community since a kid. He's lived in Vienna his whole life. He started in real estate, and we're going to be talking about real estate today. Back as a senior in high school when he was going to Georgetown University, and his mom was actually the premier real estate agent in Vienna, and she passed on the business to her son Terry, who started out as a senior in college, and he's been doing it ever since. So Terry, welcome to Vibrant Vienna.
Hey, great to be here, Kevin. Thank you very much. So yeah, I've been here since 1972. Not a lot of us around, and grew up with real estate in my blood. As you mentioned, my mother was in real estate and was really one of the top premier agents here in town since the 70s. And I started working when I was at Georgetown my senior year, and I've been doing it ever since. So it's a great vocation to do to help people out in the community. You know, when people buy and sell a house, there's usually always something going on in their life, good or bad, happy or sad, but something is prompting the move. You know, here today we're at a new house that's being built by one of the local builders, Barry Schwartz with Dunhill Builders, and you know, a very good reason for a move, a nice move up to a new house, but great to be here, great to be part of the community.
Great, thanks for being here. So tell us a little bit about growing up in Vienna. I mean, you've been here a long time. I mean, you've been really doing real estate for a lot of that time, but I mean, what was it like here in the 80s and the 70s? How has it changed?
I guess that's the key word that's been consistent the whole time is change. And so it's really been amazing to see the evolution of Vienna over that time. You know, we used to have subdivisions when a lot of the communities that people live in now around town, and then over time we lost land. And so now, you know, it's the era of, everyone says, the tear down. Right. So, you know, just like this house right here. So it's completely, it's changed for the good, I think. You know, the net would be for the good. You know, the community has adjusted to the growth, but you know, I guess we're a good victim of where we live here in the DC area with a good, vibrant local economy. Despite the ups and downs, we always seem to be doing pretty well.
We were talking earlier about Brook Rental, and Jim Brook over there at Brook Rental. I want to give a shout out to Jim. His dad owned a shop originally that was on the town green.
Exactly.
So,
exactly.
And you remember that?
Yeah. Absolutely. As a matter of fact, my office when I first started in real estate was right adjacent to their building right there. But yeah, Vienna's changed so much. I was just, you know, you mentioned Maple Avenue, and that predates me. You know, maple trees on, you know, back way back in the day.
Got it.
When DC used to be super hot, and before we had air conditioning, people used to actually come out here and maybe have a summer home or whatever, and
Right.
big trees and shade and all that. But it just makes me laugh because I think of when I was in elementary school, middle school. I used to help a friend of mine with a paper route, and you can't imagine this today, but you know, after our paper route, it'd probably be 7:30 in the morning, we would ride our skateboards down the middle of Beulah Road, go down to what's now, I guess everyone would know it today, is the drive-through Starbucks.
Yep.
And it used to be a Taco Bell, and before that it was called Mr. Donut. So we used to go down there and get our donuts, and we would literally ride our bikes and our skateboards in the middle of Maple Avenue on a Saturday morning, and you can't even imagine doing that.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
And Jim, you mentioned Jim Brook of Brook Rental.
Yep.
We went to middle school together. We used to play ball together. We've been friends ever since. He's actually a past client of mine as well. So
Cool.
Good stuff.
That's cool.
Yeah.
So today we're dealing with, you know, some challenges with COVID-19 and everything going on with the health crisis. How has that affected the current market?
You know, my answer might surprise you a little bit, because I think the conventional thinking was, like a lot of the other parts of our economy with the lockdown and with everything that's occurred, that real estate is just in the tank.
Right.
And that is not the case at all. So what we have seen is the way that we do real estate has changed a lot. We fortunately, I think the industry, certainly the Belt team and ways that we practice real estate, were positioned well for this because we were already implementing technology in terms of great photography, video tours, interactive floor plans, electronic contracts. A lot of what we are that's been enhanced through COVID, we were actually already doing.
Fantastic.
So the ability to sell a house for someone that wants to buy a house is still there. But in terms of the market right now in Vienna, it's still very, very much a seller's market. What we've seen over the past 90 days has been a reduction in the amount of listings. There's a lot of fear out there for, I think, some sellers of having people come through their house.
Right.
But as I mentioned before about real estate, real estate it's life-driven often. So just because there's COVID doesn't mean that people don't have life changes that are prompting them to make moves. So what we've seen is fewer homes come on the market, but those people that are selling are serious sellers. And we still have tremendous demand in the marketplace. So I would say that the totality of the market, the volume of the market has contracted in terms of total number of transactions, but the market conditions are very similar to pre-COVID.
Got it.
So if you're looking around town for a home, for less than $1 million, that's priced well, that's prepared well, we're still seeing multiple contracts. We're still seeing escalation of prices in many cases above the list price. We're still seeing homes sell very, very quickly. The average time on the market, the median time on the market, 50% of the homes are selling in 10 days or less right now.
Got it.
Yeah.
So kind of the message and I've heard this narrative myself from friends and out there in the Twitterverse, oh, now's going to be the perfect time for a millennial who's been waiting on the sidelines to jump in and get things at a discount. But really, I think, and this is kind of what you're alluding to, is that the market's going to continue to move in the direction it's been going, and to sit back and expect a huge discount could possibly be a risk.
I would say it's not possibly. The reality of the marketplace right now is that if your strategy is to go out with the mindset that you're going to negotiate significant discounts prior to COVID, it's just not happening.
Yeah.
The macro picture is supply and demand, and right now demand far outstrips supply.
Right.
And therefore the market condition is you just can't do that. But in terms of millennials, you bring up a great topic. A lot of millennials, I think, coming out of the last housing crisis that we had, and we're not in a crisis now, but the last economic crisis that we had, which was propelled by the real estate market, was back in 2008, 9, 10.
Yep.
The thinking from the millennials has been, oh, I don't want to go through that. I don't
Right.
want to, that was a debacle and I don't want to buy. And what we're starting to see just, in the past year or two is millennials starting to get more educated to the benefits of home ownership,
Right.
and that the world is not ending.
Right.
And the fact of the matter is, if I'm a millennial, if you have perspective, or if you go back in time, the first loan that my wife and I did here in town, we bought a small townhouse right adjacent to the fire station next to Waters Field.
Yep.
And I think the interest rate was 11%.
Wow.
And now millennials, we're talking 3 to 3.5%, which is historically, that's been a benefit of COVID, is that interest rates were already low, but they've gone even further down.
Right.
So it's a historically great opportunity to buy. And in Vienna in particular, over the years when we've had, whether it be 9/11 or the sniper or economic recessions and all those things, has always fared better than most every other place in Northern Virginia.
Right.
Yeah, especially compared to the country.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's definitely a recurring theme in talking to people, and it's beginning to sound like a cliche, but I really think it's true that Vienna is something special.
Absolutely.
It really is. And part of this project is leaving that question a little bit unanswered and letting people
As to why?
Why, yeah, because there's so many different elements and aspects to it. But
you know what, I have a kind of a interesting insight to that, because I am dealing with people over my 32-year career in real estate that have come to Vienna for various reasons, or they've maybe accepted a position with a new career opportunity in the DC area, and now I'm looking for a place to raise my family, a place to buy a home. And I can't tell you, and this is increasingly so over time, that people seek out Vienna. I'd say that the short answer would be because of the community aspect.
Yeah.
And then how do you define the community aspect? And that's a lot of different reasons for people, you know.
Sure.
But you know, the fundamentals that we have are fantastic schools.
Yep.
We have, you know, especially if you're living in the closer in part of Vienna, the walkability of the town, just the spirit of the community, all the different businesses that we have, the different restaurants, the different indoor-outdoor activities for children, the W&D Trail, you know, just what everyone, once they move to Vienna, knows what's so great about Vienna. People are seeking that from outside of the area, and Vienna really has developed its own reputation outside of the town for people coming here.
Yeah, that's fantastic. So we're sitting here at this home that you know, you shared with me that it is actually sold.
Yeah.
But you mentioned Dunhill Builders.
Yeah, I didn't sell this home directly, actually, but the builders actually is Barry Schwartz. He's with Dunhill Builders, and a small builder in town with a great reputation, does a fantastic job. But yeah, this is a home that's a little bit farther along, that's been completed. We would have been in the front, but I think it was a little bright for the camera here.
Yep.
But coincidentally, Barry is building a house now for my cousin, who's moving here from outside the area, and they actually went through the exact same thing I just described. Like, do we go into McLean? Do we go in Arlington, Great Falls? Where do we go? Well, they ended up with Barry. Barry's completing the house for them. It'll be ready in about 75 days.
So how long did it take them to decide, yep, Vienna's the spot? Did they tour those other areas?
So over basically all winter and all over the COVID time, it's exactly what you're talking about. How do we do this differently? They couldn't fly here for a period of time.
Right.
So I was FaceTiming them. I was, you know, we were Zooming. We were doing everything virtually, and really did our shopping, you know, remotely with my guidance. And they came in on a Friday night, and we had shortened it down to just a handful of opportunities. We met with Barry on Saturday, and you know, by Saturday night, Sunday morning, they had made a decision what they wanted to do.
Wow.
And now they're back in California, and Barry's working with them remotely, again with technology, making selections, all that type of stuff can be done online.
That's great. So it can be done, technological, you know, in a lot of ways. You know, it's a terrible thing that's happening, but we're really fortunate that we have these tools that we can use to facilitate, you know, economic activity and help people make huge decisions. Yeah. That otherwise, if you had a landline and a photograph, I don't know if you're buying a house, right? You can do FaceTime and walk
it's less
through
likely to happen that way, the old way. But so things are still happening. It's just the process is a little bit different.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
What else? What else can we talk about?
Yeah, I guess my message would be in terms of real estate is that it's still happening, as I mentioned, and you know, we are just safer about it. We're using technology to help solve that problem, and that you know, Vienna in particular is just, you know, I love Vienna. I grew up here. I've raised my family here as well.
How many kids do you have?
I've got two sons. They both graduated, or both went to high school in Vienna.
Okay. And where are they now? Are they?
They're still here in Northern Virginia.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are they in Vienna?
They're actually still at Mom and Dad's house. And
cool.
We're working on the next
got it.
The career. So
got it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. So they are in Vienna.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Awesome. That's great. Dave. Yeah.
I think she's got something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Oh yeah, no, I just thought like it's a great opportunity for him to come up really quick. You don't have to talk.
No, by the way, here's
do a walk by, high five. I mean, come on, let's jazz this up, give it a little, not that it's energy, but like let's have a little fun and why not? That's just my idea. Don't shoot them.
You're there. You've become the producer. You're now our producer.
Oh, am I in it now? Are you filming me? Come on in here, Barry. This is your masterpiece. Come tell us. We're gonna take a little tour.
Yeah.
We're gonna go inside.
Does he need a mic?
So exciting.
Okay, let's grab him a mic real quick. We invited in, okay, tell me your name again.
Chrissy.
Chris, okay, Sarina, Chris, okay. No, not Siri. Leave that in. We invited in Sarina and Chrissy, part of the Belt team.
Right.
And Sarina's your wife.
Sarina's my wife.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Chrissy helps us with marketing. Chrissy is actually friend first. Sarina grew up with her parents.
Cool.
And we've all been friends since high school. And
Cool.
Now we get to work with their daughter after all
Cool.
these years.
So Chrissy does marketing.
Yeah.
So social media.
Yes.
What? All right, because I gotta ask you, because we were talking about millennials and young folks. I don't want to use the word millennial because sometimes it's like
so her millennials,
a derogatory term, and it's good. I don't want to categorize you, but the point is, she's like your social media person.
Yeah.
She's
and her
working.
millennial sister got married and bought a house with us too.
Oh, okay,
so
cool.
That's for the millennials out there, like we were talking
There you
about.
go.
I talked to them a couple of weeks ago, and
Yeah.
it's been 4 or 5 years now, but they're
Awesome.
so glad they did it.
So what's the secret to getting people's attention on social media? Because a lot of businesses want to know this. Like when you think about some of the businesses out there that are having to shift technologically, and they don't know what they're doing, so you can help them out and give them a free.
Yeah, I don't know if there's like any
Freebie.
one sort of answer, but just giving what they want, so keeping them interested, not making too many long posts, making it easy for the reader,
Like
and
it.
keeping them engaged.
Got it. Okay.
Yep.
All right. Because I'm even struggling with this myself, and I have somebody younger who's helping me with my posts, and I don't know how she does it.
Yeah.
My thing will get 23 things. Hers will get like 80. And I'm going, it looks the same. I don't know what she did differently. My wife's like, yeah, just let the young people do it.
Exactly.
All right, I'm not even that old.
Yeah.
All right.
Hey,
But
If we have a second,
Anyway.
I wanted the builder just came.
Yeah.
So I wanted to introduce the builder of this great house. This is Barry
Okay.
Schwartz with Dunhill Builders, and he's the builder, built the house that we're sitting here, and I mentioned my cousin. So
Cool.
Barry, thank you very much.
You're quite welcome. We couldn't be happier to have you guys doing a little filming segment here at one of our houses.
so how many square feet is this house?
This house is 6,800
Wow.
square feet of total finished space,
That's amazing.
and not our biggest house.
And then Terry mentioned that a lot of the houses, I don't know how long, but cradle to grave, you're churning these things out in 5 to 8 months.
From the time you break ground, right?
From the time
right,
you break
Barry?
ground.
Yeah, but the process
Yeah.
can be a year.
Our,
Sure.
our
Yeah.
build time's about 6 or 7 months from when we break ground if the decisions are made quickly. And
Wow.
we try to own things for less than a year from when we first touch it to when we can turn it over to a customer.
Right. And it helps that it's a hot market.
Yeah.
Obviously.
It's been a great market
Yeah.
despite
Yeah.
the current
Wow.
conditions.
That's incredible. I mean, that's really hard to even digest and imagine that. I mean, but to your point, life is still happening.
Yep.
And
And people around here have the types of jobs that have not gone away.
right, it facilitates that.
Yep.
Yeah, that's true.
Yep.
That's true.
Yeah, we see
Yeah.
what Terry commented on with life. I've never heard it put that way, but it's very true. People's jobs change, people's living conditions change, marriages, divorces, children, families grow. And
Right.
our market here outside Washington, D.C. is exceptionally healthy just with the presence of the federal government.
Sure.
And we've been pretty blessed to always have a pretty good market.
So what does it look like when you guys are building a home? What kind of customization is involved? I mean, I'm sure it's, they can customize whatever they want, but what's that process like is really my question.
So when we have a buyer come with a house like this that we've already designed and we were already permitted for, but we hadn't started construction, a lot of the bones stay the same, but unlike a production type builder, we really bend over backwards to accommodate our customers and make just a multitude of small changes. And what it does is, while the bones of the house are pretty much the same, the character of it becomes very much their own. In this house in particular, this customer put a patio in lieu of a lot of Vienna that gets decks. They've done a lot of window changes that are pretty incredible, shapes, sizes, that really change the feel of each of the rooms.
Wow.
They have a laundry list of built-ins and things that fit their family, that,
Cool.
that make it their house.
That's great. That's great. So and that will hopefully they will tell their friends, hey, great builders, realtors, you guys are coming in.
And that's what I've learned over the years in the business is, Barry and I are working together because my cousin is buying a house from him, and it's actually our first time we've been able to do a transaction. But I've worked over the years with a lot of builders like Barry, in that they don't build 50 homes a year. They build a short list of homes, and they're quality,
Right.
and they're custom, and then they develop a reputation. And oftentimes, correct me if I'm wrong, Barry, but you end up building homes for people, and you never put the home on the market because people sought you out. Hey, I liked what you did over there. Can you change this and do that, and build me something on my lot or a lot that I find?
Right.
So,
That's right.
yeah.
Wow. That's
and,
great.
And we're not hiding those facts. We told Terry's cousin we fully expect to make changes, even though that house is halfway done.
Yeah.
Because we really, above all else, we really want people, when they're spending the kind of money you spend in Vienna, to have the home they want and not move in and regret some small detail that we can tear apart, undo, and make what they wanted.
Right.
To the extent it's feasible and possible, we like to do
Sure.
that for them.
That's great. That's awesome.
Barry will not deliver a house unless it's a very handful, 5 or 10 max on a
We
punch
had
list.
we had a realtor knocking on doors for a future home we were going to build, just introducing neighbors and having them come by to a barbecue or something before we even started. And one of the folks was in another builder's home, and she didn't, even though they have a brand new home, she still knocked and said hello. And they'd been in a year and a half, and she said, "How do you your home?" And they said, "We love it. We just wish the builder would come back and finish." We always come back for anything our customers need. We finish the houses across the street here, and the folks are in 4 or 5 years and moving, and we still get the phone call, and we still come back and take care of things that they need.
Wow. That's awesome.
Not every builder can say that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's good. So how long has Dunhill been here working in Vienna?
So in Vienna, we've been about 9 years. I've been on my own as Dunhill for 18 years, and we initially were doing a lot of land development work and transitioned into home building in about 2011.
Got it. Okay.
So we're well established and been around the marketplace for a long time.
Barry, thanks for dropping by.
Yeah,
Appreciate
yeah,
it.
likewise. Appreciate it. Yeah, I'm learning a little bit about that process myself. Okay, but it's really obviously separate business entities, but you guys are just collaborating in terms of the customer.
Right.
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 And that's kind of
Yeah.
that one piece. But he might know somebody that's looking, or you might know, and then you work that deal all together.
Right.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yep.
Got it.
Yeah.
Cool. What else do people want to know? Are you gonna buy a home soon?
I hope so.
Yeah.
I got a couple more years in college, but.
But you're in this world. So, as a young person working on the team, what have you learned about real estate since you've been working with the Belt team?
Yeah, well, I've been working sort of with their marketing, as I mentioned before, and I am wanting to get my real estate license here soon. So I'm trying to learn all the basic stuff first before I try to do that, and that's what they're teaching me. But what I've learned through the marketing side is that it's all about the connections, and you need to get your name out there, and that's what it's all about.
Yeah, totally. So relationships
Yeah.
Yes.
is the key.
Yeah.
Got it. Because it's the friend of the friend,
Yes.
and that's just how it happens. That's great.
Trusted relationships, reputation,
Yeah.
experience.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, and these are really principles that in doing a lot of talking with business owners, these are universal
Absolutely.
principles that just, if you take, that's why the takeaway from a lot of these talks, while the information is key, I think the principles can be taken too and applied to any part of life.
Absolutely.
Really.
Well, you know, in real estate, you know, again, after 32 years, and to your point, the biggest takeaway, and I think Barry would get this too, you know, as a builder as well, is that at the end of the day, you have your word.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
if you don't have that trust with people, and you know they can't believe your word, then
Right.
you know you don't have a business.
Yeah.
So
That's good.
that's critical, especially in real estate. I
Yep.
mean, because it's such a big decision for people.
Yeah.
You know?
Got it.
So
Great.
yep, right on.
What else?
Loving what you do.
What do you, thank
we
you.
love what we do.
Yeah,
We love
yeah.
meeting people. We love the relationships we have with people. I mean, for us, we just love what we do. We love Vienna. We've lived here for so long, and you know, our kids grew up here, and we have so many really, really good relationships with not only our kids' friends' parents, but our kids' friends. You know, we've watched them. Our kids grow up, their friends grow up, and
Yeah.
and it's so cool to like go into Starbucks or Pete's or whatever, or Vienna Inn, and see people and like really have a relationship with them. So
Yeah.
I think that's why we love it here, and I think that's why it's been
But-
voted.
Yeah. Number one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Number one
Multiple
small town.
times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So no,
Yeah.
it's definitely a unique town, and
Yeah.
we really love
So
what we
you,
do.
so you grew up here, and you grew up here as well.
I grew up in McLean.
You grew okay.
I got
but-
her into Vienna.
Okay.
Yeah, she won't go back to
So we
McLean.
met in high school, and we got married. I've been here. I'm a Vienna girl.
I got it. All right. Okay, but here's the question: what do you call a person from Vienna? Are they a Viennaite, Viennese, Vienna-er? What is a Vienna?
A native.
Right.
A Vienna native. Okay. All right. I like it.
But I think if you talk, I mean, I watched your interview with Linda Colbert.
Yeah.
She just echoes everything.
Yeah.
Or we're echoing everything she said. I mean, they,
Yeah.
especially for him, you know,
Yeah.
talking about being kids here and riding bikes and
Yeah. Yeah.
wanting to
Linda's
be here
husband,
for-
Mike Colbert, was, you know, we met in fourth grade and been buddies ever since. So,
Yeah.
you know, small world. I mean, that's Vienna. I mean, it's within all this craziness of Washington, D.C., Northern Virginia, you know how crazy it is.
Yep.
We are a true community. We have that
Yeah.
small town feel within the craziness.
Yeah.
And it's stuff like this. I mean, how many other places in the United States of America that are in big cities or wherever do you have like, oh yeah, the kid I went to fourth grade with is married to the new mayor,
Right.
you know,
I mean, how cool is that?
you know.
That's true.
Yeah,
So-
That's true.
And I think our
Yeah.
kids feel the same way. It's not just our generation that feels
Well,
that way.
and I'm just thinking, so Chrissy, your parents bought my parents' old house
Yeah,
Yes.
how crazy is that?
out
Yeah.
Lawyers Road.
Got it.
So
You
I
know.
grew
That's
up in
funny.
his parents' old house.
Yeah.
That's so funny.
Yeah.
Wow.
So, small world Vienna.
Yeah.
And I think everybody that lives in Vienna shares our sentiment. I mean, I think we're all really proud of this town.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
there
Totally.
is still the history and the tradition, but we're also keeping up with, you know, what's going
Right.
on and staying relevant and, you know,
Right.
doing all the things that Linda Colbert is
Yeah.
gonna be doing. It's so exciting.
And it's walking a balance between finding things that are gonna, you know, that are community perspective, consumer centric, but also making sure that the businesses feel supported, because those are kind of at times can be conflicting, right?
Yeah.
Like traffic calming for a resident sounds great. For a business, that doesn't sound so great.
Yeah.
I want more traffic in the right way,
Right.
obviously, but
I
that's
would
where the
say that
balance comes in, right?
It's the challenges of growth, of positive economic growth, which we all benefit from living here in this community, in this area. It's a good problem.
Right.
It's not that we don't have problems.
That's
the question
right.
is, you know, what kind of problems do you have? So we have good problems.
Great.
Yes, we have a
Perfect.
traffic problem, but
Yeah.
is that, would it be better to have no traffic at all because COVID shut down every business and we can't do anything?
Exactly.
And eventually the real estate market goes down and no one has a home and whatever. I mean,
Right.
you can go down that
Right.
path,
Spiral.
you know?
Yeah.
So
That's good.
yeah, I
That's
mean,
good.
the Vienna, it's always going to be that way. You
Yeah.
either are growing or you're going in the other direction.
Right.
Actually, they
So,
say if you're
yeah.
standing still, you're going backwards.
And that's
That's
why,
true.
you know, and that's why I really
That's true.
was really glad that Linda Colbert won as mayor,
Yeah.
is because, you know, just like the conversation we're having, she's the same thing. She
Yeah.
grew up in Vienna forever. and she understands the community.
Yeah.
She's reasonable.
Yeah.
She has good values.
Yeah.
You know, all the things that are important to people who live in Vienna, and she'll do it in a smart way. You know.
My thing about her is when I saw on her posts on Facebook saying, you know, 2 days after she got elected, hey, if you have any signs, just leave them there. I'll come pick them up, and I'll recycle them or whatever. You know? I was like, see, that's why.
She's very service
That's
oriented.
why.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Things done.
That's the key.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, and she probably did it herself too. Just
Probably.
drove around, right? I mean, I could see that. Anyway, cool.
Got Mike to do it. Come on.
Yeah, that's true. It's the different kind of honeydew list now for him. That's cool. He's probably going to be calling Lori's husband. Hey, man, what do I do with this? Anyway, well, guys, thanks again.
Fun.
Yeah, thanks for sharing your story. You know, about living here and family, and you know, inviting the team out to talk about everything that's going on.
So
Really
you asked
appreciate
earlier
it.
about like how times have changed or whatever, and I'm thinking like typical summer day when I was growing up as a little kid, and you can imagine it now, would be going down the bike path, which we used to call the tracks because
Yep.
they weren't paved then, it was actually railroad tracks.
Yep.
Going to the Spokes bike store,
Spokes, yep.
which used to be a movie theater.
Yep.
And then, you know, me and my buddies when we were little, you know, the best place to catch crayfish and salamanders and stuff like that is right at the corner of Beulah Road and 123. There's actually a creek there that's kind of overgrown. A lot of people don't even know there's a creek there. But it wasn't overgrown then, and we used to play in the creek. The water used to be clean.
Oh.
So, yeah, times have changed.
Times have changed. Yeah. Look, we're not going to eat the crab. There probably aren't any crayfish
I
left.
haven't been doing it lately, so I don't know. Probably
Cool.
not.
Thanks again, guys. Appreciate
Thank you so
appreciate
much.
it.
Yeah.